You're watching the Cowboys Report. I am Tom Downey. Some injury news and overreactions after the Cowboys do not play very good against the Jacksonville Jags. The troubling concern for me was the Leighton Vander Esch injury. Some good news if the Cowboys are telling the truth about the injury to Leighton Vander Esch. Initial concerns was it's a neck injury. He's had that issue before. It's his season going to be over. Oh, my God, panic. Initial MRI, CT scan, etc. show not a neck issue, just shoulder stinger, actually. Now, he might still miss some time, so I am hesitant to say it's 100% accurate because if you're going to miss time with the stinger, it seems a little weird, but, we'll see. Stephen Jones said today that Vander Esch will return this year. I'm going to take him at face value this time around because the Cowboys missed Leighton Vander Esch in that game. Micah continues to play more off-ball or more edge rusher than actual off-ball linebacker. Anthony Barr, Damone Clark were not perfect. A few times Barr got washed out. And you can still trick Damone Clark because he's a young player, and that's understandable. If Vander Esch can't go this week, it is a big loss for the Cowboys. He's been your best linebacker by a pretty easy margin so far this season. That's just the reality. 90 tackles. He only played a couple snaps against Jacksonville. Maybe Cox out could be a situation for Dallas if LVE can't play, but Luke Gifford is also a backup option at linebacker. The Cowboys come off a bad loss, and that really stings. What's your panic level right now over the Dallas Cowboys? Scale it for me from 1 to 10. 1 on the low end, 10 on the high end. Where are you sitting right now with the Dallas Cowboys? Let me know as we get ready for Cowboys Overreactions from Week 15. Overreaction number 1. It's Dak's fault. Play Cooper Rush. Real things I saw commented, and not Jeremy just having fun and being a troll, by the way. My answer here is stop hating, guys. The Cowboys offense and Dak Prescott is not the problem. In fact, I'm actually very happy with the way Dak Prescott has played. Yes, the interceptions need to come down, but if we're trying to blame that game on Dak Prescott, you're either just being a hater or delusional, or, maybe both. The offense is not the problem. When you score 34 points, you're supposed to win those games. The Cowboys offense, since Dak Prescott came back, even with the turnovers, are averaging 35.5 points per game. That is obscene production. It's a bit unsustainable, make no mistake, but that is the best points scored by an offense in the NFL. Now, for reference, it's a full 6 points more than any other offense is scoring right now. It's the same difference between being the number 2 scoring offense and the number 18 scoring offense. It's massive. It's 2 touchdowns more than what you're putting up with Cooper Rush. That's 21.4. It's the number 1 offense versus being below average at the offense. You should win games when you score 24-plus points. Yes, there was Dak had one bad play, right? The interception, under pressure, just don't throw it. Eat the sack. It's okay, Dak. What I'm actually worried about, and all this conversation about, offense, whatever, it's the defense, guys. Your defense is not playing the way it was at the beginning of the year. Injuries clearly a big problem. They've allowed 21.4 points on average since Dak Prescott came back, up from 15.8 with just Cooper Rush. By the way, didn't include week 1 in those stats because that's not fair to Rush's stats, correct? This is a not top 10 defense right now. You were the number 2 defense, or if not number 1 defense, when Cooper Rush was out there. Now you've got some injuries. Your defense is not playing as well. They've got to figure out. They've allowed 29-plus 3 times since Dak came back. Not going to win games like that. You're lucky to have won one of them, frankly. So is this Dak's fault? Y for yes, N for no. It's the pinned comment. The answer is no, by the way. But I believe in democracy, so you guys can go vote. Y for yes, N for no at the pinned comment. If the ad break comes here on YouTube, you know the deal. Take advantage of it. Head down there and let me know. Number 2, overreaction. Coaching is a problem. We've been down this road before. Yeah. When the team itself doesn't play that great a couple weeks in a row and they seem a bit unprepared at points, yeah, that's kind of a coaching issue, isn't it? Blowing big leagues is kind of a coaching issue as well. That falls on Mike McCarthy, Kellen Moore, and Dan Quinn. All of them. Dan Quinn has been hyped as the greatest Cowboys defensive coordinator ever, right? Which, hey, he's done a fantastic job. You still got to be better in these games. Where's the pass rush? Quinn is press coverage, Kelvin Joseph, 3rd and 10. I don't know about that one, right? Your head coach's job is to make all the right calls, push the right buttons. And Kellen Moore still remains inconsistent. There are good moments, don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to be overly anti-Kellen. But hey, you're going to run the ball twice and then run max protect 3 verts on 3rd and 10 to try to ice the game and make Noah Brown the primary read? What? No. What are we doing out there? Doesn't make sense. And that falls on Mike McCarthy too. So my comment is clear. Win a playoff game or else. Because if you don't win a playoff game and you lose probably to Tampa, a not good Tampa team, you got to make some changes. And that begins with your coaching staff. Today's Cowboys Report is brought to you by Rocket Money. And maybe you've had a tough time canceling subscription. Like, I know I've forgotten about subscriptions before, and then I got to go log in. I don't know what my password is because I don't use the thing anymore, right? So I got to forget the password option, then go get the email, the code, blah, blah, blah. Takes all this time that you don't want to have to spend just trying to not pay money anymore. Well, that's why I love using Rocket Money, formerly known as Truebill. The app shows all your subscriptions in one place, cancels for you whatever you don't still want. Rocket Money can even find subscriptions you didn't know you were paying for, or maybe even that you were double charged for. To cancel your subscription, all you have to do is press cancel, and Rocket Money takes care of the rest. Get rid of useless subscriptions with Rocket Money now. Go to rocketmoney.com/Cowboys. That's rocketmoney.com/Cowboys. Could save you hundreds per year, folks. Links in the comment section and the description of today's video. Go check them out. rocketmoney.com/Cowboys. Overreaction number 3. Kelvin Joseph and cornerback 2 are bad. This is the truth, and there's no way around it. I know it's a small sample size, but I'll be blunt today because I got slapped a few times before the show, and also I'm still kind of mad the Cowboys choked again. Kelvin Joseph has not been an NFL caliber player the past 2 weeks. For the season, it's bad. 12 of 18 completions versus targets. Those of you not math inclined, but you can read the numbers, that's not a very good completion percentage. Already has 228 yards allowed, 69 yards allowed in each of the past 2 games. Nice, but also not nice. 4 touchdowns already. And in the past 2 starts alone, it's 8 targets, 6 catches, 138 yards, 2 scores, 1 pass breakup. That's bad, guys. You got to try something at corner. Because teams are like, we're not even going to bother throwing a Diggs anymore. They're not even looking his way in anything beyond more than 5 or 6 yards downfield. They're not doing it right now. Deron Bland's been fine as the nickel. And when you're in only 2 corner packages, it's been Bland out there. But when you go to 3 and you put Bland nickel where he belongs, you got to figure out something. Is it Kelvin Joseph? Is it Nashawn Wright? Do you try Trayvon Mullen, who already got cut or dumped by 2 teams this year? Do you say, let's try Mackenzie Alexander or Kendall Sheffield and say, well, you guys play the nickel, we'll put Bland on the outside? You want to put Israel Mukuamu out there? Try something else. Boss man fat is toast man burnt. He's just not played well this year, and I'm in a playoff push. I ain't got time to let him work through the growing pains. So 4 options here. Who starts at corner? KJ for Kelvin Joseph, TM for Trayvon Mullen, NW for Nashawn Wright. You can write an IM for Izzy Mukuamu, or for your practice squad options, type in PS. All right, overreaction number 4, be worried about the offensive line. Yeah, you should be. This is accurate. The O-line has not played that great as of late. The ground game, your pass blocking, it would appear that this is going to be the Cowboys' O-line moving forward. Tyler Smith, McGovern, Biotish, Zach Martin, Tyron Smith. The offense was much better with Tyron Smith in the football game. They averaged almost double the yards per play attempt versus when Jason Peters was out there. But Tyron also still kind of working through some kinks, had some bad reps. I'm not too worried about it. He hadn't played football in a long time. I think we'll get there. I think it is time that we have the Tyler Smith conversation. And I've kind of hinted at it before. Tyler Smith, as great of a run blocker as he is, was bad against the Jags. He allowed 2 sacks, 3 hurries. It's really bad production for pass rush, especially for a team without number 1 overall pick Trayvon Walker. I have been relatively pleased with the way Tyler Smith has played. And I think he's a great run blocker. But he's been a bit of a liability at left tackle in pass protection. He has 11 penalties this year, 3 of which were declined, to be fair, because they also resulted in negative plays already. 20 hurries, 8 hits, 6 sacks. That's a lot. I know he's young and you're kind of going through the growing pains, and I'm still not out on him long term, But there was a reason why I wanted to put him at left guard and have Tyron at left tackle and Terrence Steele at right tackle. That was your best five. Now you're trying to adjust without Terrence Steele. Tyler Smith has not played as well the past couple weeks, and the offensive line and his unit is suffering for it. So grade Tyler Smith's rookie season so far. A, B, C, D, or F. Let me know in the comment section. On the ground game versus Jacksonville, 41 carries, 154 yards, which is like, hey, 154, that's awesome. Well, he averaged 3.8 yards per carry. And there were some successful runs, a couple of nice runs, nice gains of 6, 7, A lot of negative runs mixed in there. And there are times that feel like the team gets away from the outside stuff for Tony Pollard. I know that they love duo runs, which is your guard down kind of crashing down. I get it. But if you're going to run the ball 41 times, you got to have more than 3.8 yards per carry. And that number is worse if you don't include Dak having some nice runs, by the way. Got to figure out that ground game. And it starts with the O-line. Sounds like last year, right? Hopefully things are different this season. So sub for all the Cowboys games down the stretch, daily videos right here on the Cowboys Report, youtube.com/@CowboysTV. Hit that subscribe button right now. Number 5, Micah Parsons is overrated. This is relax, but I do need more from Micah. And that is I'm asking a lot out of my best player on my team. This is not like most players would be like, hey, I had 2 tackles, a sack, and 12 pressures. That's the PFF number against Jacksonville. That's awesome play. But your defense as a whole is not playing all that well at the current moment. They've got to figure out something at this point. They've not been good enough for the Cowboys. He's been quiet against Houston. He was quiet against Indiana. A part of this is how teams are playing you. Quick game, short passes, misdirection, not letting the defense just pin their ears back and go. And I'll also make this point. Micah is not 100% right now. It's not. So they've got to get him a little bit healthier. And he's got to play at his A game. You need your quarterback to play at their A game as well. Your O-line. You're going to play better teams down the stretch here in the playoffs. You need those guys playing at their best level because right now your defense isn't. I'm not blaming Micah for that. I think that's the cornerback 2 issue, some other injuries as well. But you need Micah to be the defensive player of the year, which right now, he may not be. Next up, signing Odell Beckham. Here we go again. Overreaction, although Jerry Jones still wants this to happen and will tell anyone who's listening that he very much wants this to happen. It is easy to see following the Noah Brown drop pick 6 to understand why the Cowboys are looking for wide receiver help. Michael Gallup is still not 100%, and he's not getting separation. You should have done the deep ball to him on 3rd and 10, not Noah Brown, by the way, but I digress. Jerry's not going to give this up. So the dream, in air quotes, for that exact reason, is not yet dead. But I also don't know if you're going to see Odell Beckham play at all this year. And I don't really care that much about next year. I'm not interested in trying to figure out exactly what he can help me with next year. I don't care. I care about this year. So if Odell Beckham can help, cool, bring him in. If he can't, I don't care. I'm out on it at that point.